Good evening, Cabot and Colleen. And 4 years ago, the Giants and Patriots put on what is arguably the greatest Super Bowl ever played. Super Bowl 42 tonight. They just about matched it. A phenomenal matchup here in Indy. We'll take you straight to the highlights. Good times here in New Orleans. The largest fixed dome structure in the world. The Superdome has hosted 6 Super Bowls, 4 BCS title games, 4 Final Fours. And of course, the nation's going to turn its collective focus here tomorrow night. And with that, we welcome you here live to New Orleans and the Superdome. The Buckeyes, they are set to make their mark on the Big Easy here. I'm Jerod Smalley. The Big Ten today doubled its scarlet intake. A day after Maryland joined the league, Rutgers announces it will be the 14th member of the mathematically challenged Big Ten. You look at the attitude both teams took into this game, both 6-6 football teams, but Ohio State and Florida played like they wanted to win today desperately, especially Ohio State considering all they'd been through both off the field and on the field. But in the Gator Bowl, the Buckeyes turned out to be Gator bait. He shares a name with a rock and roll legend, but Tom Petty is actually a basketball legend in the state of Ohio. Over 32 years, he's won 538 games as the head coach at Bloom Carroll, and that's impressive. It's just that another man in Carroll has seen hundreds more Bulldog wins, and more importantly, he's impacted thousands of lives. The other Ohio team in the tournament, Xavier, also went down tonight in their regional semifinal to Baylor, 75-70, the final score there. So Ohio State stands as Ohio's last hope in this tournament.
A memorial tournament would not be right without a little bit of rain.
It seemed just about perfect. You are correct in that. And it's also perfect because the leaderboard is jam-packed. There's a tie for the lead right now at -5. Dublin native Kyle Reifers is now just one shot back at -4. And even Tiger Woods is lurking on the leaderboard. It all got off to a very saturated start this morning. And play delayed by nearly 2 hours. Rivers running down fairways. The list of Tiger Woods' career accomplishments goes on and on. He's now won here at Muirfield Village 5 times, 73 PGA wins in his career, second most all-time, ties him with Jack Nicklaus. But it's what happened here, behind the 16th green at this spot Sunday, which Jack Nicklaus summarizes this way.
I don't think, under the circumstances, I've ever seen a better shot.
You know Ohio State's dominance over Indiana for nearly a quarter century, but Urban Meyer remains genuinely concerned about this game tonight because of the Hoosiers' quick passing style and the fact the Bucs entered this game banged up, even more so than we first thought, as Matt Barnes rejoins us live from outside Memorial Stadium in Bloomington. Whether he's making spectacular plays or frustrating ones, Braxton Miller is the most interesting man in the Big Ten. And in 12 games this season, he directed 12 victories and grabbed national attention. Tonight, he's honored as the Graham George Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. Miller becomes the first Buckeye to win that award since Troy Smith in 2006. And Braxton broke Ohio State's total offense record with more than 3,300 yards gained this season. He accounted for 27 touchdowns, and he's the only quarterback in the country with 12 wins this season as a starter. And as broad as those accomplishments seem, Miller says he has a ways to go.
Well, I'm appreciative everything went down this year, and with the guys, for the seniors, it came out really well. And the hard work we put in all season with Coach Mick, and it paid off at the end. So I'm one step closer to all the goals that I want to reach, you know, playing football.
And as it turns out, Ohio State ends up sweeping the offensive and defensive awards. Senior John Simon wins the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, led the Big Ten with 9 sacks this season, and finished second in tackles for loss. Also tonight, the Big Ten media and coaches select Penn State's Bill O'Brien as the Conference Coach of the Year, led the Lions through a turbulent year to an 8-4 record. Urban Meyer, despite going 12-0 in his first season, denied that honor, and the drought continues. Not since 1979 has an Ohio State coach won Big Ten Coach of the Year. These are some of America's brightest minds, fortunate enough to attend one of America's great schools. But at Duke, visitors feel like true outsiders. Cameron Indoor Stadium only seats about 9,000 fans, but the noise and hostility generated by students give every Duke team an edge. It's in part why Duke has won 96 consecutive home games against non-conference opponents. And tomorrow night, Ohio State will take its first ever trip into Cameron Indoor to try to bust that streak. The Buckeyes ranked 4th in the nation. The Dukies ranked 2nd. It's part of the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Thad Matta says he's piped crowd noise into practice this week, but the task his players face will be about much more than sound.
It's going to be crazy. You can't get by that, and you just got to find a way not to let it get to you. It can get loud really quickly.
The chaos that's going to be out there on the floor and parts of the game that shouldn't be, a factor that are definitely going to be a factor. I don't know. I like all that stuff.
So that's number 2 versus number 4. Here's number 3, Michigan, in the ACC Big Ten Challenge tonight, hosting NC State. Columbus native Trey Burke starring in the show. Career best 11 assists with no turnovers plus 18 points. He is a super sophomore. 79-72 Wolverines remain unbeaten. And while Maryland plans to join the Big Ten in a couple years, it has some issues to work out. $53 million worth. That is the size of the lawsuit the ACC has filed against Maryland for conference exit fees. Those fees were increased in September by the ACC. This move appears to be strictly financial for Maryland, in a heap of trouble in their athletic department financially. And the Big Ten network contract is
That's nice.
very sweet in that.
It'll take a lot to offset $53 million if they have to come off of that.
It might be worth it down the road.
Down the road. Thanks.
NBC4's Jerod Smalley is live in Indy tonight with highlights from the stunning, I guess they would call it an upset, though they were pretty even to me, I thought.
You could make that argument, Cabot. Good evening, Cabot and Colleen. And 4 years ago, the Giants and Patriots put on what is arguably the greatest Super Bowl ever played. Super Bowl 42 tonight. They just about matched it. A phenomenal matchup here in Indy. We'll take you straight to the highlights. First time ever, 2 starting quarterbacks in the game were both former Super Bowl MVPs, Eli Manning and Tom Brady. They get out to a big lead to the Giants, 9-0 when Victor Cruz catches a Manning touchdown pass. Then it's 9-3, Giants leading when Patriots, they close the half with a remarkable 96-yard march. Danny Woodhead gets the capping touchdown. The Patriots have a 10-9 lead at halftime, and they keep the momentum going in the second. Brady to Aaron Hernandez, 12 yards, and it is now 17-9, Patriots in command. After a pair of Giants field goals, a huge play from a Central Ohio guy. Brady throws deep and poorly there. Marysville's Chase Blackburn nabs the first turnover of the game. That's a huge play. Giants down 2 points. Under 4 minutes to go. Here goes Manning. Deep ball to Mario Manningham. Tippy toes, both feet down in the inbounds. That is important because just a minute to play when Ahmad Bradshaw runs to maybe even try to slow the clock down. He can't stop his momentum, though. 7 yards is in the end zone. 21-17, the Giants lead it. Still time for the Patriots, but the Hail Mary attempt into the end zone falls to the ground. Another incredible Super Bowl, and it's a 21-17 Giant victory, stunning the Pats for New York's 4th ever Super Bowl win. Here's Ahmad Bradshaw after the game. Last play, you're running into the end zone, and what went through your mind as you're trying to stop?
You know what, I was just trying to tap down. I didn't want to give that great offense a chance to go in and score, and you know what, I just tried to declare myself down. They didn't call it, so my momentum took me in.
Second time you're a world champion.
Oh, man, it's the greatest feeling in the world. I'm blessed, and you know, we're taking it back to New York.
Matt, it's obvious when you talk about Ohio State and Kansas, you got to talk about the inevitable matchup between Ohio State's All-American Jerod Sullinger and the KU All-American Thomas Robinson. They will not match up the entire night, but when they do cross paths, I assure you it will be a physical matchup.
Every single play, right from the heart.
This is our defining moment. We fight to the very end. Yet it's only the beginning, leaping into another year of excellence.
Austin Football Friday Night's the best. I love NBC4.
What's up, baby? Glad you missed us, but now it's time to get serious for kickoff.
We are physical enough. We are athletic enough to play a smart game. Let's get it done.
Feels good to say, for the first time since November 2011, welcome to Football Friday Night, our 19th season and a fabulous first week of football games. We will start with a history-making night in Dublin where Jerome and Kaufman played for the very first time, but this was never really in doubt tonight. The Rocks, considered one of the best teams in Central Ohio, living up to that tonight, doing it on the ground early. Daniel Chang from a few yards out starts the scoring for the Shamrocks. And then apparently a pope was elected or something. And then Bilal Williamson, had himself a game. Speedy Sr., a 3-yard touchdown, follows that up with a 5-yard score in the second quarter. 48-6 Kaufman Cruises on opening night. They've been pre-gaming all day for this one around the Horseshoe. It's been a busy place. Fans are excited. So is the football team. About an hour ago, they took the walk across from St. John Arena at Skull Session over to the north end of the Horseshoe. And as you can see, it's a little smaller pathway than usual as the players make that walk. Urban Meyer wanted it that way. He said earlier this week he wanted the players to take their headphones off and really engage the fans, interact with them, get them motivated, because he wants this place to be, in his words, an inferno tonight as the Buckeyes host Nebraska for the first time since 1956. Scientists on campus who study the composition of Mirror Lake Cabot before and then after the jump, they notice a spike in the ammonia content of the water. That's a very gross piece of trivia for you there. Now, speaking of trivia, the Boren family serves as the answer to several trivia questions in the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. For example, Justin Boren remains the lone player in the history of the game to play for both Michigan and Ohio State during his career. But as our Matt Barnes explains, the Boren tradition goes much deeper.
It's a big week for us, but
amazing stuff. The Big Ten today doubled its Scarlet intake a day after Maryland joined the league. Rutgers announces it will be the 14th member of the mathematically challenged Big Ten. The Scarlet Knights hope to join the league officially in 2014. Rutgers still must negotiate an exit from the Big East Conference. Now, Rutgers does draw the league into the lucrative New York TV market, but Commissioner Jim Delaney says that's a bit of an overrated factor.
It's been said before.
And on campus tonight, the Buckeye women playing their third home game of the season as St. Francis visits. The results, as you'd expect, Amber Stokes hustling there, chasing down the layup, swatting it away, and then she distributes to Martina Ellerby for the outside jumper. Big night for the Buckeyes, 23 points from Taylor Hill, and they improved to 3-1 on the season. They win this one 70-54. A player from Division III Grinnell College in Iowa tonight scored 138 points in his basketball game.
Wow.
Now that eclipses Bevo Francis.
It does.
Rio Grande.
He had the old record, 113 points. He made 27 three-pointers. Attempted 108 shots.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I don't understand how it's mathematically possible.
Did he pass
He'll
the
be
ball?
right back.
The list of Tiger Woods' career accomplishments goes on and on. He's now won here at Muirfield Village 5 times, 73 PGA wins in his career. Second most all-time, ties him with Jack Nicklaus. But it's what happened here, behind the 16th green at this spot Sunday, which Jack Nicklaus summarizes this way.
I don't think, under the circumstances, I've ever seen a better shot.
With Woods trailing Rory Sabatini by 1 shot, he struck his tee shot at 16 too firmly, leaving a delicate downhill chip.
I didn't have the lie to play it. I mean, that was the hard part. With the lie I had, it brought water into play.
That's when the Tiger roared.
Straight up. Oh, yeah, look at this, Peter. Look at this shot. Look at this. Might go in. Might go in. Might go in. It is in.
It was loud. It was ruckus. It was a great atmosphere to be a part of. And I think I heard you guys scream at 16. So that was a fun little shot I played there.
Woods then birdied the 18th to close out a 2-shot victory, conjuring images of his chip-in at the 14th 13 years ago. His first Memorial win.
They're all special in different ways. To do it, down the stretch today, I was a few back with a few to go, and made a nice run.
I mean, he played a great tournament 3 years ago. Came here a little bit struggling then, and then just absolutely just blitzed it, and he did it again this week. I hope you like the golf course. If you don't, let me know. But you seem to play it pretty well.
It's Jack's place, but Tiger's show place. At Muirfield Village, Jerod Smalley, NBC4.